you'll see that there's basically two columns. The buyer side of the transaction, the seller side of the transaction. And you'll notice at the top, as I was saying, there's a sale price. And the sale price is on both sides for the buyer and the seller. The buyer, of course, has settlement costs, okay? And that we defined as the closing costs, the prepaid items, and the escrows, all right? So they're all listed here. And then you have other ancillary items like your taxes. And that's where the oil is, a condo fee, condo reserve, something like that. Seller has the same thing. They have the sale price and they have taxes, okay? What this means for the buyer is that's the gross amount that's due. For the seller, that's the gross receipt. That's the total amount of money that they would receive, but they have costs that are they're going to deduct from that as well. So, on your side, on the buyer side, gross due, you're going to subtract from that the deposit. You're going to subtract from that the mortgage. And you're going to subtract from that any other credits you may have, a closing cost credit or a lender credit. All of those items up, you subtract that from your gross due, and you're left with what you bring to closing. So, on the seller side, same thing. They're going to have a gross amount of the amount of money they're supposed to receive, but they may have an additional deposit, they may have closing costs, and they may have other debits, such as the payoff of a mortgage. You have to subtract all these items from the total amount they're going to receive. That's their net proceeds. So as you can see, it's an accounting of the transaction, and it's the summary of the entire transaction and why the settlement statement is so important. But remember, taking a trip and buying a house, that's a great destination to be shooting for, and that's what we're trying to do here. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please call me.